All right, we are more than 18 months into the Trump presidency, so we thought it would be a good time to check in with Trump voters to see how they're feeling today. I sat down with a panel of people from California, Texas, Ohio, and New York, all of whom voted for Donald Trump. At one time, these folks were all on the same side, excited about this outsider running for president. But as you'll see, times have changed, and today some feel very differently. So here now, our next Pulse of the People. How many of you are still just as excited today as you were on Election Day about President Trump?
Maybe more so.
And how many of you, the rest, would you say that you regret your votes? Raise your hands.
I'm disappointed.
Why are you more excited today than you were?
You know, I came in with some trepidation based on his previous record. He's the most pro-life president we've had, more than Reagan. He's done a substantial job protecting the Second Amendment, securing our border, deporting illegal aliens. He made a list of promises. He's coming through on many of them.
Jeremy, what do you regret about your vote?
In my mind, and the way I look at him now, I think he's a monster. I think he's a bigot. I think that he's doing a lot of things to ruin people's lives. I don't think that I think that he's taking this country in the wrong direction, and it's a terrifying time for me.
Was there a moment that turned you?
It was when I heard about what was going on the southern border.
What part did you object to?
The family separation and the children in cages.
I would chime in just really quick.
Yeah.
You've got parents who are breaking the law, bringing their kids here. If you don't want to be separated from your family, don't come to the country illegally. You're having individuals coming from Central or even South America risking their lives and their children's lives.
Because their lives were at risk at home.
They can go to an embassy and be safe there. Absolutely.
There's also
in the country of Mexico.
You can do it. It is legal here to go to a port of entry and seek asylum. It was President Trump that started the zero tolerance. So you used to be able to stay together. You couldn't under the zero tolerance.
Keep in mind also, we have these minors that are now getting excellent care. They're getting very good housing.
But that's not the point. That is not the point. I mean, I'm a lawyer, and I can tell you, first of all, there were 2,500 children that came here. They
were not reconnected.
They did come here legally.
Yeah. No one's really talked about the unaccompanied minors that are being brought here by people that are looking to sex traffic these children.
Yeah, listen,
human trafficking is a
talked about
huge thing right now.
Talked about that. The thing that got everyone's attention was that people who were not sex traffickers were bringing their kids and they got separated, and 572 of them may never see their parents again.
Thanks to the
were they really the parents?
And even after Trump's own directive,
were they really the parents?
Hold on, we haven't heard yet from Chris. Go ahead.
This is the problem with what the president is doing. He's able to divide us on these issues where we're now fighting amongst ourselves. You know, you look at Charlottesville, you look at the separation of the families on the border, you just look at the tweeting. I've never seen an individual who is so good at connecting with sort of average people that has no ability to really communicate or control the way he communicates.
I think it's disingenuous to say that President Trump is wholly responsible for the bifurcation that we see across party lines right now.
But is he helping it?
I don't think that necessarily some of the things that he says could be said in a more polished manner.
My issue with this president, who I voted for, is the fact that he has something negative to say about every other leader. But you try saying one little comment that's negative about Trump himself. He jumps into a fit and he has this Twitter tirade. You know, we have a lot of, really, I mean, I have to be crass about it, idiots who voted for him, including myself at one time.
I take great offense. I'm not an idiot. It's a wise decision that people voted. It was a wise decision for Michiganders, for Wisconsinites, for Pennsylvanians, for working Americans who were tired of their jobs being taken away, shipped overseas, or taken by illegals.
I want to apologize to the nation for my vote for him. It was the wrong thing to do. It was the biggest mistake I ever made. Like I said, he is a racist.
Why do you believe he's racist?
Why do I believe he's racist? Look what happened in Puerto Rico. He said, oh, they want to just cry and, you know, they needed help. Just because they're not white-skinned, he doesn't want to go down there and help them out?
So I take great offense to the fact that you felt the need to apologize on the behalf of the entire nation, because that also seems that says to me that you are invalidating the validity of my vote.
No,
and the reasons I think the reasons why I voted for Donald Trump is because, based on my perception of him, he is not a racist, and he has done so much. He has done so much for the black community.
How do you explain the tweet about LeBron James and Don Lemon?
That's right.
I watched that interview.
But he I mean, and the president has done this before. He's called people of color. He's called them ignorant. He's called them dumb.
He's called white people that too.
He says LeBron James is more stupid than Don Lemon.
He goes after Don Lemon and LeBron James and Maxine Waters. How do you explain that?
When you call someone's intellect into question, it has nothing to do with race.
I work with a lot of Hispanic evangelicals who are very pro-life. Hispanics care about God, family, jobs, education. Top things for us. President Trump is delivering on those things.
Right.
So all this other rhetoric,
No, that's all
this
good.
other rhetoric of, oh, he tweeted this or he did this, I don't really care about that.
You don't care about that.
I care
You don't
about,
care about
I care
that, but I
about
do.
God,
You're free to care.
family,
Exactly.
God, family,
Understood.
jobs,
Great.
and education.
You made a great point about that. And so, as somebody who is driven by her faith and cares about God and family, do any of the personal peccadillos give you pause? The Playboy model who was paid off, the payments to Stormy Daniels, the lies about affairs. Does any of that give you pause?
You know, we are taught as Christians to be forgiving. I'm not going to get into his personal life. That was not something that I weighed in to go vote for him.
Does it make you
Anything was
uncomfortable?
better than Hillary.
But in terms of
Absolutely.
when you hear about the Playboy stuff, does it make you uncomfortable?
No, I'm not here to judge about what he did on his miscellaneous activities or what he was doing outside of his bedroom. That is not what I voted for him to do. I voted for him for his policies and his agenda to put this country back on track.
One more time, that was not Clinton voters versus Trump voters. Those were all Trump voters.
I have to say, I find it fascinating when you bring these people together. And we talk about the phenomenon in the country right now where the president's approval rating, despite a booming economy, has a ceiling at 42 to 45%. What you see there is the ceiling. You see that even some people who voted for Donald Trump will not support him because of the policies he has at the southern border or just negativity or perhaps foreign policy there. And unless he replaces some of these people with people who voted against him, that could be trouble. Now, maybe that will happen if the economy improves. It'll be interesting to see as you continue to do these, if you get people who have been won over since the election. But if he loses some people who wanted a change of flavor and now don't like the flavor they're tasting, it'll be a problem.
And I think that another thing to point out is that you can hear how his voters, who are still his staunchest defenders, who are passionate about him, compartmentalize the other stuff. So the stuff that has turned some people off, you could hear there from Bianca at the end that she is able to, though she considers herself a woman of faith and family, she compartmentalizes that and doesn't look at the stuff that might have offended her in the past because she likes Trump's policies.
And
so
the
much.
feeling that he's delivered on his promises, you see an increase in some cases in intensity of support, all of it.